Hi everyone, Daisy here with my August layout share. I created, I don't know, a good stack of layouts here. And I just want to go through and share them with you. There are videos for all, I think, but one of these layouts, so you can definitely check them out on my channel. So yeah, let's just get started. So I am going to apologize for the laundry in the background. I have to do laundry or I won't have any clothes to wear tomorrow. So I just have to keep it going, and I apologize if that is too much of a distraction for you. So starting off, I had this layout for Spiegel Mom Scraps. I chose to use my silhouette, and I used a flower cut file and cut out a whole bunch of different size flowers. And I used parchment paper. Parchment paper is something I get from Cardstock Warehouse. It's like vellum, but a little bit more opaque. And so I created all these flowers, and then I added a whole bunch of copper and white or pearlescent sequins in the background here. Also, you'll kind of see a trend for this month. I'm trying to either use multiple photos or 4x6 photos because I have noticed that there has been quite a few comments in different groups about how nobody uses multiple photos or larger photos anymore. So I thought that I would try my best to show different ways that you could use them. So this is two 4x6 photos. And they're of my daughter when we went hiking one day, and it's just I love this photo so much. It's so gorgeous. And so I felt like this layout was perfect. It's really soft and really lets those photos stand out. Now these two are the same photo, just one in black and white, one in color, but you could easily use two of any kind of photo in this. There is a video for this. Next up, Christy and I started a new series called Loving Your Scraps. It's on Thursdays pretty much every week. There was one week that I had a design team assignment, so I did not do it that week, but yeah. But I did use a lot of scraps up. So this is, I just pulled out of my scrap bin a lot of greens and blues. For me, I don't care on boy layouts if I use flowers or, bows or anything like that. For me, it's more of the color or the patterns. So when I'm going through my scrap bin, I kind of squint my eyes and I pick things that go together. And then I work to make the patterns work together. So I have quite a few scraps on this layout, and I also used a whole bunch of things out of, I have this little tray that I keep all like random die cuts and cut apart things that I've had for a while that I might use, like these stars or an offcut from a cut file. These are from cut apart sheet. These were some cut apart tags. This is from a scrap piece of paper, but there's definitely a layout for this. If you're interested, you go check that out. And I used a whole bunch of Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins as well. This is probably one of, I don't know, I have quite a few favorites this month, but I love this layout so much. So this was for Spiegel Mom Scraps again, and I created these pockets using my fuse tool. And I did a bunch of strips of paper, as you can see, and I think they're all from Heidi Swapp Art Walk. And I have these rainbows. You'll see these again in another one. And I just kind of did like I tried to stay monochromatic. I did end up with some pink in here with these Pink Fresh flowers, but I pulled out my puffy stickers and got some of those used up, and just tried to stay very close to the color that this like peachy coral color. But again, there's a video for this. I sprinkled shimmers in the background. I think that's Pink Moscato. I don't remember what this lighter color is, but yeah, lots of gorgeousness. So for Spiegel Mom Scraps, you can use my code, which is Daisy15, for 15% off your next purchase in the shop if you are so inclined. And then for shimmers, you can put my name in the comments when you make your purchase, and you'll get a free little gift too. So if you're interested. This layout was again for Loving Your Scraps series. So with my first layout, I did something that I like to do where I create a background using it. For this one, again, something I like to do, back and cut files. So I was able to use many different scraps. And I even used this paper that I've been kind of hoarding with the holographic stripes. I think this is from Michael's Hot Buy pad, and yeah, it's just, I haven't known what to do with it, but it worked out perfectly for this. So I have three 3x4 photos on here. I actually had a fourth one, but it didn't kind of flow with these three. It was kind of like these were taken one right after another, and the other one didn't fit into that. So I ended up leaving the other one off. But again, there's a video for this. I used a lot of the Simple Stories Magical Birthday. I fussy cut this out of an Amy Tangerine paper. And yeah, really fun. So this one, again, another one of my favorites, is from the from the quarantine scrapbooking YouTube hop that Christine Meyer put together, and we were supposed to scrapbook something about our quarantine journey. And so my kids got pretty creative, and like my oldest did not want to leave her bedroom ever. And one day I went in there and she had created this giant fort over her bed, which I thought was fun, and I really kind of appreciated that she wasn't just kind of laying in her bed watching TV or whatever. So I used some craft color cardstock in the background, and that is from Cardstock Warehouse. It's where I get all of my cardstock from. It's super high quality and I really enjoy it. So I sprinkled some shimmers, I believe, or maybe this is just acrylic paint, I can't remember, in the background, and then some white mist as well. And then I just kind of went again for a tone on tone kind of color. I cut this out of I think this might be Heidi Swapp. What was the other one? Storyline? Something like that. But it just had a ton of these rainbows in it, so I cut them all out because I knew I would use them. And then more of the Pink Fresh Studio, and then some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins. And yeah, I just really love it. This title I got from the Silhouette store, but I really enjoy that. So this one, I believe, is for a combination. I think this is Loving Your Scraps, so I used a bunch of scraps up for this. And then also, oh, dead bug, for the Oh Baby YouTube hop. So we had to do some baby photos, which I have these two of my son, and he's 17 and a half now. So I mean, these were a long time ago. I think he was only 2 weeks old. But yeah, so I chose a bunch of blues because there's this blue plaid in the background. I used this. This was actually not a scrap paper, but I used it to cut this out, which then made it into a scrap paper. So then I used that, and then some more blues from my scrap bin. And I did struggle with this one a little bit because I don't have a whole lot of baby themed items because I don't particularly like them. So I pulled out these from Jilly Bean Soup. And then some Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins because they go with everything. And then my one sticker sheet I could find with baby boy stuff was from Bella Boulevard, so I used up some of those stickers as well. So this one was for everyday inspiration. We were inspired by a pool floaty in Lisa's pool, and so I used this cut file from Shimmers. And I also used a bunch of different shimmers colors on the background, and I kind of created the water and sky in the background. And then I used a bunch of scraps again to back my cut file, and then popped it up. And it is a little bit warped, but once it's in the page protector you won't be able to tell. I popped the cut file up, again 2 photos. On that last one I used 2 4x6 photos. These are 3.5 by 3.5 size photos. And then I pulled out Vicki Boutin Wildflowers and Honey, and used that. I kind of have a long title here. That's a die cut. I actually had backed the sun, but I found that and I felt like that was perfect. Some more Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins, and yeah, I love this one a lot. So this was my first design team project for Shimmers, and I started off by creating these leaves. I was inspired to do some fall scrapping, and so I actually did kind of use some of my scraps. So I created these leaves using different Shimmers colors, and look at how, I don't know if I can get that. I mean, how shimmery they are. You can just tell, like even in the bright lights, everywhere that the light is just, yeah. So I had a different idea of where I was going with this layout, and then I pulled it back. I cut these leaves out. These are all fussy cut, the butterflies, out of some a scrap piece of paper, and then I used some of the foils Mother of Pearl and painted in some of their wings to kind of give them each their own little look. And then I cut this out of a scrap piece of paper, and this was cut from a scrap piece of paper as well. And I used up a bunch of things. This I had left along with these kind of sprigs of leaves, and yeah, I used up some things that I was struggling to use, but I am absolutely in love with this. So much fun. So this is the only layout that does not have a video. Oh, and again, 2 4x6 photos on this one. So this one does not have a video. This has a blog post for Cardstock Warehouse. I used the Carousel collection, or paper pack, to create this one. So back to school theme, right? But we didn't know what back to school was going to be. So I had them take, I actually posed these pictures for this layout because I thought it would be funny. So we always do these first day of school photos, right? One of them, they always sit on our front porch and they hold up what grade they're going into on their hands. So like my youngest is going into 6th, middle is going into 9th, and my oldest is going into 12th. So we did that like it was a normal photo. Well, then I had them put on their onesies pajamas, and I took a photo of kind of what homeschooling is like. They're in their pajamas, they're all on their phones. My oldest one is laying down. My youngest one has her backpack full of toys. I just thought it was such a funny layout to do, even though it was kind of a forced photo shoot, but it totally describes like how I felt about going back to school. So I created this title just using some fonts on my computer. You can get free fonts all over the internet. I get them usually from dafont.com, and then I just use this generic question mark, and then I cut out a bunch of 2x2 squares and then cut them in half to create this geometric background. And then I just used my pen to kind of add some details, and again some more Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins, because you can never have too many sequins. And these are 2 3x4 photos. This one was from this week. This is for, I forget, Off the Board. So I had this layout by, it was designed by Julie for Hey Little Magpie blog, and it was half and half like this, and I just absolutely loved that idea, and it's a great way to use up a bunch of different items. So I had these 3 photos of myself when I was bored at work using Snapchat with some rainbow hair filter, and so I thought it was perfect for this. This is a scrap piece of paper from Pretty Little Studio. This one I actually cut in half just to use for this layout because it was the perfect colors. And then I cut this out of a scrap piece of paper, this out of a scrap piece of paper, this is out of a scrap piece of paper. I used a whole bunch of embellishments from Amy Tangerine and Pretty Little Studio. I even got some Chamel Never Grow Up foam pieces, and then these wood buttons with the rainbows on it. And then again, Spiegel Mom Scrap sequins. And then these are also from Shimelle Never Grow Up, I'm pretty sure. Just the silver ones, but these big clear ones are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And then I just did this tiny title over here, and yeah, used a whole lot up on this. I absolutely love this. I did some stitching over here, which is very subtle and hard to see, but I did it. And really enjoying this. Again, 3x4 photos. This one used 4 3x4 photos, and this was for Loving Your Scraps. And my daughter leaves, whenever she gets a hold of my phone, leaves me pictures like this. So I have like a million selfies of her making weird faces like this. So I told her, I'm like, you keep doing that, I'm going to scrap them. And I've scrapped them in the past, and I'm going to keep scrapping them. So I used, this is from Jilly Bean Soup. This one is from Dear Lizzie, and I layered them on top of each other. And then I used this scrap of paper from Shimelle Never Grow Up collection and created this sun. This is from a paper from Gossamer Blue that I've had for like ever. It came in a Scraptastic Kit Club. They don't do kit clubs anymore, or they don't do that anymore. So, I mean, it's pretty old. And then Pretty Little Studio, I cut out these hearts, and I had these Amy Tangerine vellum letter stickers, and they matched perfectly, so I was able to do my title. And yeah, I really love how this turned out. I got my title from one of the songs in Funny Face. It's Fred Astaire and Audrey Hepburn, and I love that movie. And I don't know, when I saw that, it worked out in my head. So then I kind of created my embellishments to match my title, kind of. So, but yeah, it's really fun. She hates it, but you know, stop using my phone that way, right? And then this is my last layout for August. This was for, Quilter's Vibe and Just a Girl Hop. So I started with this mandala cut file from Jilly Bean Soup that I got off the Silhouette store. I cut it in 3 different colors of mirror paper from Cardstock Warehouse, the blue, the pink, and the purple. You can see how beautiful that is. And it really is mirror-like. And then I used some of the mother of pearl foils in the background just to create some added interest. And it's really, like, there's not a good way of showing you this because it's white on white. So, but there is a nice shimmer to the background. And then I created the title. You can see there using white letter stickers from American Crafts. So it's Just a Girl Who Loves Her Dog. In person, it's way easier to read. It's just with my lights, it's really hard to get it not to like wash out. And then I decided to go a little sequin crazy. So I pulled out 3 old mixes from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And by old, they're at least a year, if not more. So, and I put some in between the words. I added some down here. I have some clear stickers, which I usually struggle to use, but because this was a background, it worked out perfectly, from both Amy Tangerine and Pretty Little Studio. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a simple layout, but I really like it. I feel like that mandala really takes the cake there. So yeah, those were all of the layouts I created. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got 12 layouts done this month. And I really had a lot of fun with it. So I hope you enjoy this video. Please go ahead and check out all the videos for these other layouts if you are interested in how they were created or seeing my process. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.